Hello, magic makers, and welcome to September. It's happening. Can you believe it? Here we are in the 9th month of the year 2023. Stick around and I'll give you the numerology, the astrology, and the tips and tricks that is going to most benefit you to ride through this beautiful energy of September. Really, it's a little bit of a reprise from, the intensity of Leo season and rising and riding through this retrograde season. It's been extra special, has it not? It's been a lot to navigate. Those retrogrades always take us into a review time, into a review. It's not so easy to get things moving ahead. It's review time. It's bringing in time. And so this is like the softening that September's going to bring, because we need it, because October is going to be one of those wow months. So the numerology for this month, it is the 9th month, and number 9 gifts us with the opportunity of completion. It completes cycles. It's about letting go. It's about sweeping away. And so all the retrogrades that we've been through, these 9 retrogrades, and some of them are going to go direct in this month. This has been the gathering, the reconciling, the review period. And now what this 9 gifts you is the handing it over. It's like, I've acknowledged it, I've reconciled, I see clearly, I've spoken what needs to be spoken. Well, at least after Mercury goes direct. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the 9 gives you the absolute of completion. And the beauty of completion is there's a renewal and a rebirth on the other side. No, rebirth cannot exist without first the deconstruction or the death, if you will. So September brings the closure, the finale, and that feels really good. And it's soothing to the soul a bit to kind of wrap up some of these things. It's also a 7 universal month, and it's a 7 year. So this is extra special cosmic because the 7 is the number of bringing heaven to earth. It's where your spiritual consciousness, your awakening of your deeper spiritual truths gets to come more into the forefront of your perception, of your reality. And so the number 7 gifts you with the opportunity to take a very deep dive into your inner wisdom, into your inner perspective, into what is it that you now know based on the retrograding, the reviewing that you've just been through over the last weeks or months. And so it gives you that opportunity of great self-discovery. And this is what the planet is doing. That's the beauty of the 7 year. It's that this is everything you're experiencing on a personal level is also being experienced on a collective level. So this is the Great Awakening. This is the time when people are moving into being able to see with their real eyes, to realize what it is that is the deeper truth. And the 7 brings us the inner wisdom of truth, of what it is that is seen and unseen, known and remembered within the workings of your being. So this is an opportunity of great potential, and it awakens you to your great potential on the planet. What is your purpose? Beyond being the light beam that you are, that is your purpose. How you choose to share that in the world is of your choosing. It's of your free will. So it's a review time for that. Self-discovery, connection. It's a beautiful time to get very connected into Mama Gaia, to sit in meditation, to get very clear about who it is that you are in this now moment, because we are all in a birth cycle. We are in between a death and a rebirth cycle, and everyone's going through it in their own pulse. As I've said on other videos, the collective of humanity is going through a dark night of the soul. In my book, The Palace of Light, the 3rd pillar is deconstruction. It is an essential piece of awakening. You have to deconstruct the attachments to the old, the thought patterns, the programs, so that you can emerge into the newness of what is authentically true from a perspective of your soul. Heaven to earth is bringing the awareness, the remembrance of you as an actualized soul being into the density, if you will, of human form. So this 7 month gives you yet another opportunity to be in that great well of exploration. So please attune yourself to it. It requires trust of what it is that you are intuiting, trust of what it is that you are being brought forth to remember, to know. You must trust the truth of your own soul. You must trust the wisdom of what it is that is coming through you. Okay, so during this month, the veils between the physical and the spiritual realms are thinner. It's a thinning, it becomes thinner so that you can see with more clarity, as I said earlier, the truth of who you actually are. So, the astrology. And September 3rd, Libra's ruling planet, Venus, goes direct, and she's been retrograde for several weeks. And the retrograde of Venus is a time for reclamation of love, of the truth of you, what you have learned through love. There's lots of visitation of old relationships, relationship to self, relationship to partners, people, places, things, lots of review, lots of opportunity to create healing within that. But the retrograde kind of pulls it all in. It's not a great time to start new things or to actualize new things. But with her going direct, there's like this pouring over abundance. I like to think of it as, you know, when the tsunami comes, the waters pull way, 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 way back. And the bigger the wave, the bigger the tsunami, the more retracted the energies need to become to build momentum, to gather force, to pull in essence and resources, really. And so when this comes bursting forth again, it has an action with it. It has a potency with it that it would not have had if it hadn't been pulled back. I think that's really important as we go through retrogrades to understand that gathering of energy, that pulling in, is essential for bursting forth. It's birth. And so what Venus is, she's the ruler of beauty, of love, of abundance. So what you're getting an opportunity to experience in her flourishing forward is an expansion of your beauty, your love, and your abundance. So whatever you have been putting on the back burner, especially in terms of money, self-care, it's a great time to, you know, like zhuzh your look a little bit if you want to make a change, if there's a big change that you want to make to your physical appearance or how you are, or how you operate in the world. This going direct, it gives you the opportunity to accelerate that pretty rapidly. So it's a great time to get your fall grooving on in whatever way that is for you. And it's also about you really looking to pivot your expression. And it's time to have those conversations. It's time to take the risks, if you will, in your financial world. It's time to get moving forward. And she really gifts us the beauty of reconciling who we are at soul level and expressing that into the world. So I am giving you a gift of my activations called Beautiful Sovereign You. I will put it in wherever you're watching this. It will be in the bio or in the notes or wherever it is you're watching this. Grab that because it's an activation of the reclamation of the beauty essence of your being. And it's one of my favorite transmissions that came through actually over the last few years. So I'd love to gift that to you. Make sure you grab your free activations, about 12 minutes, and you can listen to it on repeat over the course of a few days or weeks or whatever makes you happy. Okay, so on September 4th, we have Jupiter going retrograde. Now, in the sign of Taurus, and it will be retrograde for the rest of the year. But unlike some of the major retrogrades we've been having that have been like, because we've all been in that experience over these last, especially 4 or 5 weeks, Jupiter is considered to be the planet of luck. Now, I don't actually believe in luck. I believe that we're divine creators and that when we're really plugged into our pulse, to the truth expression of who we are, then we create as if by magic and we perceive it as luck. But there's nothing lucky. There's no happenstance in this universe. You are a divine creator. When you're in the flux and the flow of your divinity, magic occurs and happens all around you. We simply perceive it as luck because from a 3D lens, we are so programmed to attach from the outside and think things are miraculously happening outside of us. And from the 5D lens that we're being actualized into the remembrance of, we know that we're the creators of it. So when you perceive that you're being lucky, please take note that you are in vibrational sync and alignment with that which you desire. And the universe is always, always, always coming to your side to curate what it is that you most desire. So Lady Luck might be by your side, but she's always within you, and she's just waiting for you to come into the symmetry of creation. Yes, I like that transmission for us. So it's a second chance at something or someone. When Jupiter is going retrograde, it's a rekindling. It's like a reactivation, a spark, a sparking of something that is authentic that might have been put on pause. That can be people, places, things, thoughts, ideas, transmissions. It's really giving you. It's also an amazing time to break old habits. Those things you're like, I gotta get back on pulse. And Venus being in the direct sign also supports that, if you want to make some body changes or habitualize new experiences that perhaps could better serve you. This is really supported in this month with the astrology and the numerology, right? Because we have the completion of the old with the 9, and we have this emergence of you being remembered as the true essence of your soul, as a spiritual conduit of everything. And so it's all possible with the 7. So on September 14th, we go into the new moon in Virgo. This supports this new frequency of Jupiter being retrograde quite beautifully as well. And Virgo, let's remember, is our beautiful earth sign, very grounded about getting in order and organized. And so this new moon brings in the internal. New moons are the fresh start. It's the beginning of the new month always. It's the time of going into the yin, into the inner workings, resetting, reclaiming, reactivating, renewal, regenerating. And it's about fine-tuning your schedules, your focus, self-improvement. This new moon's going to gift you with all of this, the fresh start vibe. It's actually a really great time to get your proverbial shit together. So whatever's been waiting, like, oh, I'm going to get to that. I've got it. The calling in your heart that is needing attention, it's the time for that on September 14th, moving in through that time. It's time to get it together. There'll be extra emphasis on recharging your batteries, so you'll have the energy to get your best self moving forward into the world. This is the beauty of the gift of this month. It is a beautiful reboot month, and we need it. Trust me, we move into eclipse season in October. There's a lot of energy with this 10 month that's coming next month, and the 8 universal month. There's going to be a lot. So utilize the energy of this September to make the changes that are being requested and required of you to be in your greatest expression. On September the 15th, just, in the shadow of that new moon, Mercury retrograde ends. Thank all that is holy. It's, every retrograde is an opportunity. Every Mercury retrograde is an opportunity. So you get to get back into that flow and that flux of ease of conversation, technology, scheduling. Like, it's just all of the craziness, we will call it, of Mercury retrograde is going to settle. Now, don't forget, there's a shadow period of Mercury that goes for 2 weeks after it retrogrades, but it lightens and lightens and lightens the intensity. And sometimes those shifts, those pivots in and out of retrograde can be a little intense. So just pay attention to that as you're coming into the new moon and then you're shifting into the retrograde or into the Mercury going direct. It might be a good time to sort out some, Venus was pulling back old relationships, loves, and things to be harmonized, but it's not actually a good time to harmonize them when Mercury is also retrograde. So you have an opportunity to get into some real reconciliation and make some decisions of like, what is done for you? If it's done for you, it's done for you. Make it done, because it's not serving you to pull anything from your past through the mud if it's not serving you to become the greatest expression of who you are. September 22nd, Libra season begins. Sweet, sweet, sweet Libra season, the sign of balance, relationships, justice. It's a great time of karmic retribution, which means it's time to kind of clean up your karmic house, because you can do it with so much grace and love, with the balance that Libra brings us. Any needed apologies, any ownership of your own stuff that you need to put into to have that completion, both Venus being direct and Jupiter in retrograde, and Libra season gives you with this juiciness to just kind of clean up your house and do it with love. And it also gives you an opportunity to really deepen the well of your expression, who you are and how you want to be in the world. It's a blessing. On September 29th, the full moon fires up in Aries. So never a dull moment. It can be a little dramatic. Aries, that fire, the full moon. Just this lunation, you know, gives you an opportunity to be really sovereign in your truth. Maybe keep it at home, keep it quiet, keep it at peace. Um, it's also an amazing activation, acceleration of abundance. So we're going to have the win with that in the fire sign of Aries. Just be mindful of how you're moving. Full moons always bring the kaboom, you know, to the house. So um, so be mindful. Use the fire, if you will, of Aries for your self-expression. Spirit saying right now it would be really beneficial to take some of that and put it into service, into business, into your passion projects that you're creating in the world. It's an opportunity to really activate abundance, and it's a time for great manifestation. So whatever the ideas or the thoughts within your heart, especially if you've been shy about bringing them out, the fire of this Aries moon and the fullness of its light is a real expansive time for you to get expressing in the world. So some of the key things to remember this month is about relationship, bringing in the relationship to self, to higher self, to source itself, to your God self, and this spiritual well of expansion that's here, harmonizing your relationships on the inner and the outer plane. It's very supportive of that. It's about optimizing the truth of your soul self, who you are at soul level, what it is you're here to do, who it is you're here to be, and the ways of which you are here to be that. It's time to get moving forward with your offerings, with your soul, with your love, really, to express and expand that into the world in the ways that your soul knows is for you. And it's all about your service. And then we optimize it all back around into a time to really expand your higher consciousness. So the world is going to wobble. It's wobble time. It's go time in the world. It's deconstruction of the old to create new. It's happening internally. It's happening externally. Observe it. Send your love through it. Do not attach to it. Optimize your frequency as the light beam that you are, and you will ride through this month of September beautifully. I am sending love to your light. Make it a blessed month.